Hey, I'm Ryan Bomberger, Chief Creative Officer of the Radiance Foundation, and I am loving this social media meltdown over the retirement of Justice Anthony Kennedy. He's retiring July 31st, and I mean, people are just going berserk. Pro-abortion people are going berserk. But then you got liberals who identify as Christians, former evangelical Rachel Held Evans, who went on Twitter to pontificate about why she thinks it's dangerous for Roe to be overturned and if pro-lifers really have thought this through. And I love her first tweet. It was a really long thread, by the way. And she says, "I'm pro-life by conviction, though my views on the legalities of abortion are complex, ever-evolving, and detailed elsewhere." When you have a conviction, it doesn't forever evolve. See, the problem is she doesn't have a conviction. She has a condition, one that changes with political winds. When you have a conviction, you know what you believe, you know why you believe it, and it doesn't shift every time someone's feelings change. One of her tweets said, "So when I see conservatives celebrating the millions of lives that will be saved if Roe is overturned, I wonder if they realize a significant percentage of these lives would be in poor communities of color. Communities this administration has actively oppressed." No, wait, let me get this straight. So I'm not going to validate her accusation that the Trump administration is oppressing the black community. I mean, I don't recall her protesting or pontificating about how the Obama administration was oppressing the black community when poverty reached its highest level in all the years the U.S. Census Bureau kept track of those stats. In the black community, it was 27.6%. Unemployment rate, back in December of 2017, under the Trump administration, it hit the lowest point that it hit since 1972, 6.8%. What was it under the Obama administration? In the black community, 16.5%. More than 2 times higher. But I don't recall Rachel Held Evans or any other liberals who identify as a Christian talking about the oppression of the Obama administration. The answer to oppression is not elimination. I mean, what kind of policy is that? Is that compassion? That's just a warped mindset. It is a eugenic mindset that somehow says your life isn't worthy of living because you don't live in the right circumstances. I mean, greatness comes out of poverty all the time. I mean, look at George Washington Carver. Look at Oprah. Look at Dr. Ben Carson. And who are we to pretend that we're the arbiters of human value or of the human existence as to whether or not someone has enough quality of life? That's the argument that she's making. It's a very eugenic mindset. And when you invoke poor communities of color, you kind of sound Sangerish. I mean, you're making the same argument that Planned Parenthood does, that NARAL does, that the National Abortion Federation does, that pro-abortion people make every single day. It's amazing how the poor are always exploited. She says rich women will be able to go and have abortions anywhere, but poor people, they won't be able to get abortions. They'll have to go to Gosnell-like places to get their abortion. Well, newsflash, Ms. Evans. Gosnell operated actually while abortion was legalized. And he's not an outlier. There are many other butchers like Gosnell, like Douglas Carpin out of Texas, Nicola Riley, Carhart. I mean, the list goes on. And they all operate right now while abortion is legal. You know what? This whole liberal who identifies as a Christian garbage about pro-lifers and conservatives who don't care about people after they're born, that they're just a bunch of oppressors, it is nothing but BS. Oh, and that's just bogus stuff. This is the garbage that becomes this sort of thing that you're not pro-life if you don't attack every single possible or perceived issue affecting minorities or the disadvantaged. Thank God abolitionists didn't give into that same sort of warped mentality that, oh, no, wait, you have to attack every single issue in order to attack one issue. I mean, really, we need to worry about housing, and what about their job opportunities? Wait a minute, what about healthcare? I mean, we cannot eradicate slavery until we get all those things. That's crazy. But yet that is the same mentality that Rachel Held Evans and many other liberals who identify as Christian put out there. That somehow if you don't attack all these issues, you're not pro-life, while still justifying the slaughter of innocent human life. She erased this long Twitter thread. She blamed people for misrepresenting her views. No, we didn't misrepresent your views, you misrepresented Christianity. And so when Roe does eventually get overturned, pregnancy centers will be part of that answer. But you know what the biggest part of that answer is? The church. And not the church that wants to give the Bible reassignment surgery. The church, loving and compassionate and always taking care of the poor and the destitute and those who are facing injustice, those who are being crushed, literally being crushed. You know what? I'm pro-life by conviction too, except my conviction is not ever evolving, it's not nuanced, it's not complex, it's actually pretty simple. Killing innocent human life is wrong. Period.